With Colorado Republican Party Chair Jeff Hayes announcing he is stepping down, a variety of political leaders are thinking of running. State Representative Susan Beckman confirmed that she is in the race, and U.S. Representative Ken Buck confirmed he is considering a run for the position as well, but has no intention of leaving D.C. to do it. Eric, the position of a party chair, especially in the state, has diminished, or at the very least changed dramatically over the last several years. Can it be done from Congress, not even in the state?
Roy Romer was head of the Democratic National Committee, a D.C. operation, while he was still governor of Colorado. So I assume that plane flies both directions. Yes, it can be done. I can't quite figure out why Ken Buck would want to do it. For that matter, I'm not really sure why anyone would want to do it. This is, I think of the Broncos hiring a new coach yesterday for what is essentially a rebuilding job. Well, the rebuilding job on the Colorado Republican Party makes the Broncos' rebuilding job look rather tame and easy by comparison. This is a party, that just lost everything. That, with the exception of Cory Gardner, who is very severely threatened come 2020, has no toehold in Colorado. And it's a party that really needs to reassess and refine itself and decide if it wants to just elect true believers in primary elections who then get slaughtered in November, or whether it wants to be a viable, competitive political party in a state that's rapidly changing away from a lot of Republican thought and Republican demographics. So it's not an enviable position. And if Ken Buck wants it, more power to him. Susan Beckman is an able person as well. I'm not sure it's a job I would seek.
Natasha, how relevant is a state party chair nowadays?
Extremely relevant. I mean, with the full slate of a ballot, they have a lot of races to weigh in on. As we're talking about this, the Kenny Rogers singing The Gambler sort of playing in the back of my head. I mean, that's the person you need. You need someone who can read the cards so perfectly to figure out not only what the GOP is in Colorado, but perhaps a national sort of standard or movement of where the future of this party is. Who that person is and who wants to take that job, who wants to be the gambler, it remains to be seen.
Patty, who should hold them? Who should fold them?
Well, we're seeing people fold them right and left right now. I think Ken Buck is a really interesting idea. If he thinks Washington is a swamp, the Republican Party in Colorado is the Sahara. I mean, it is dry. It is dry. There's no respite. There's no liquid asset. There is nothing to look at in the Republican Party that I've been able to see. So figuring out who you can elevate. Is there a bench at all, or is it just a lot of sand? So more power to whoever wants to take that job.
There's some Democratic ad writers right now writing down that whole Sahara line. That was brilliant. David, wrap it up for us. Is this a big deal? And if he decides to run and wins, can Ken Buck do it from D.C.?
No, I mean, he could presumably hire some great vice chair for the party who would in effect do it, and that's what Roy Romer did too, really. I mean, he was the figurehead at the top of the Democratic National Committee, but the DNC has lots of permanent staff. I don't think the party chair sets the ideological direction for the party. That might have been more true in older days, but the dilemma the Republicans face of be pro-Trump, be anti-Trump, be moderate on that's up to the voters, and the party doesn't really have the control of that these days. But what you need for a party chair is someone who's very good at the mechanics of elections, of the voter identification. I saw in Boulder outstanding voter identification efforts by the Democrats, and I think people have talked about how well that ran statewide. The Republicans need to get up and match that. They need to have the ground game that can find the registered Republicans who don't turn out all the time, pester them until they do turn out, find the Republican-leaning independents and do the same with them. Susan Beckman, former Littleton City Council person, Arapahoe County Commissioner, certainly has some success in her own ground games. That's something to start with. Ken Buck, the official rumor is, he's thinking about this because of running for the Senate in 2022. Well, he ran against Michael Bennet 12 years before that in a Republican wave year and didn't win, so I'd be skeptical about his chances on that again.